When the sun burst forth, it wasn't just like a giant lamp in the sky, but like the primordial heart of the universe. I could feel every pulse of its light touching the deepest corners of my soul. That light wasn't harsh or painful. It was gentle, like a tender embrace, so sweet that every wall of defense within me simply melted away. Each ray was a pure kiss of eternity, filling me with something I had never known before, a primal, unconditional love. Before my eyes, the sky was no longer just a sky, but an ocean of colors moving like a silent symphony. Gold, pink, violet, and white blended together, shimmering like billions of crystals dissolving into an endless stream of light. I felt so small, yet at the same time lifted up, as if I had become part of this vast, magnificent universe. The feeling was overwhelming, not out of fear, but because of its perfection. My heart felt as though it would burst, every fiber and every breath soaked in sacred tenderness. I could only weep, but they weren't tears of sorrow, they were tears of recognition. That all of us are born from the same source of light, from a love that never dies. I've lived long enough to know this world is not only filled with light and sweetness. Behind every ray of sunshine hides a silent shadow, and behind every warm smile often lies an unhealed wound. When the blizzard comes, when bodies lie buried beneath layers of snow, I don't see just the terror of nature. I see a mirror reflecting the fragility of human existence. Through the years, I have witnessed so much loss. Familiar faces fading away, dreams once burning bright now reduced to ashes. The cold of snow doesn't sting as much as the chill in your heart when you realize nothing lasts forever. Life passes in the blink of an eye, and all that we cling to slips through our fingers. And yet, in that very harshness, I learned to see life differently. Love, sharing, a simple handshake, an honest glance, these are the flames that keep us standing in the storm. The bodies beneath the snow aren't just endings, they are reminders. Live fully today, for tomorrow is never promised. Perhaps that is life's greatest lesson for me, that in the finiteness of human existence we finally understand the true value of being. I still remember the moment death touched me. It wasn't loud, no screams, no blinding lights like in the stories people tell. It came quietly, like a cold wind pressing against my back, pulling me into an endless darkness. My body grew heavy, my breath rapid then gone, and in an instant I realized I was only a small soul, watching the world from outside. Everything familiar became strange. The sound of my own heartbeat faded into terrifying silence. Images of my life flashed before me, my mother's smile, friends' eyes, mistakes I thought I had buried. I understood then that what haunted me was not what I had failed to achieve, but the moments of love I had let slip away. In that near-death state, I brushed against the border between being and nothingness. For a moment, I thought of surrendering, dissolving into nothing. But somewhere in the darkness, a faint yearning for life stirred. I wanted to return, to breathe again, to apologize, to hold my loved one's hands once more. When I awoke, I knew I had just crossed a fragile boundary. Death was no longer distant. It was close enough that a single breath could decide everything. And because I had tasted it, I learned to treasure every heartbeat still echoing in my chest. After all the ruin, when devastation seemed to have erased every trace of life, I opened my eyes to the most miraculous thing. I was still here. The world around me was broken, the earth still bleeding through its wounds, yet amid the wreckage, life quietly sprouted again. From ashes, tiny blades of grass pushed through, proudly reaching for the light. It was as if destruction itself had carved a path for a new beginning, for a symphony of rebirth I had never heard before. I walked forward, trembling yet grateful, for each breath now was more than survival. It was a reminder that I had been granted another chance. Death had touched me, cold and merciless, but it had also given me back the gift of life. I realized that what is precious isn't in what we hold, but in the moments of seeing the sunrise, hearing the wind sing, feeling the beat of our own hearts. The world after catastrophe may not be perfect, but in its imperfection, I found a purer beauty than ever before, a calling to step into a journey of rebirth. From now on, every day would no longer be mere existence, but resurrection in the light of love. I thought it was all over when hope flickered like a dying candle in a storm. At that very moment, a miracle appeared. Before me, from the gray rubble and ash, light suddenly flared. Not a light of destruction, but a gentle, warm glow carrying the promise of life. I reached out to the breeze, feeling as though an invisible embrace wrapped around me, reminding me that the extraordinary always comes when we are closest to despair. The miracle didn't arrive with thunder or lightning, but in the simplest things. A withered branch splitting open to reveal green shoots, a drop of water falling into parched earth, a lone bird singing its first song after days of silence. It was these seemingly small wonders that ignited the fire in human hearts. I cannot explain it with logic, perhaps I don't need to, for miracles are not meant to be explained, but to be witnessed. Witnessed in the way life can rise from death, light can grow from darkness, and people can rise again from the deepest despair. In my heart, this miracle is not just a fleeting event, but proof that we were never abandoned. And because of it, I believe, if a miracle can happen once, it can happen again, so long as we keep even the faintest spark of hope alive. After long days steeped in darkness and fear, the moment of reunion finally came. I saw them, the familiar faces I thought I had lost forever, emerge from the mist. We embraced each other tightly, no words needed, only tears streaming down our cheeks. In that embrace, I felt life stronger than ever. All the pain, all the loss seemed only to lead us to this moment, proof that kinship and compassion are the greatest powers of all. When the fire was lit, we sat around it, sharing our stories. Not to reopen wounds, but to remind each other that every scar, every tear was a testament to resilience. I knew then that this story was not only ours, but one to be passed down to future generations. I told the children, remember, no matter how the world shakes, no matter what storms may come, never let go of faith. For as long as we hold on to hope, we can create miracles. And miracles are not distant magic, but born from the human heart, where love, courage, and the will to live reside. In that moment, I realized reunion is not only about meeting again in flesh and bone, but about continuity, from pain to hope, from darkness to light, from past to future. And that is the most precious legacy we can leave behind.